Well, howdy do, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's me, Reiki Marco, your favorite Reiki guy. I might not be your favorite Reiki guy, but I might also be the only Reiki guy that you know. So, anyway, let's get into it. Welcome to the live, y'all. We are sitting here on a rainy Saturday from Maui, Hawaii. And I normally don't go live on Saturdays. This is kind of a spontaneous thing. Peggy, what's up? Hello, how are you, dear? I'm going live, and it's not Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 9 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. I figured there's people who can't make those lives, so I might want to spontaneously go live, just because I just want everyone to learn about human design. You can see it's on my shirt, which is pretty cool. You can't buy these shirts right now because my partner doesn't want to make them right now. But anyway, also we just haven't set the shop back up. But if you don't know about human design already, here let me be that annoying person who's telling you about human design, maybe for the first time. Maybe I'm not annoying, I'm just projecting that. There's a lot of people that really don't like human design. And one of my projections as to why that is because they don't like to believe that there's something like externally that has power over them. Adrian, what's up? Yes, surprise live. Happy Reflector Day. This is the first time I've done a live actually that hasn't been on my schedule, so I think that this is important as a reflector. Oh my God, we can get likes over there on YouTube. Thanks, Adrian, or whoever else is watching, because I see there's 2 viewers over on YouTube. One thing I do want to say is that I got freaked out the other day because I saw a video about the TikTok ban that I haven't seen in a long time. Like that's just has not been in my field. And so if you are here on TikTok and you are one of my followers, and you want to keep following me, I think TikTok's like I'm not sure if it's actually going to get banned or not, but the fact that it's being talked about, come follow me on YouTube because I also have a YouTube. Same thing, Reiki Marco everywhere, or Instagram, either one, because those two seem a lot safer. But anyway, surprise is the signature of a reflector, and as that being my signature, one of the things that I recognized about signatures in human design is that you can't rely on the world to surprise you, or you can't rely on the world to satisfy you, or you can't rely on the world to make life more peaceful for you. This is our responsibility to manifest the signature of satisfaction, or the signature of surprise, right? That's just kind of how it goes. And one of the things that I have discovered with being a reflector is that manifesting surprise, like this is a surprise live, is really not that hard, right? Because what we really have to do is just take a look at ourselves. This is what human design does for me, is it gives me an opportunity to get outside my normal perspective, or my habituated perspective, so that rather than living habitually, I can live more intentionally. Because whatever I'm used to doing, it might work, but it might not actually be the best for what I'm trying to do. King Fedino, very impulsive. Can I book a session with you right away for today? Um, King, I'm sorry, I cannot do today. My next availability will be Monday, but I love that you're impulsive and you're claiming that. Are you a manifesting generator? That makes a lot of sense. No, I'm going to be live here for a little bit, and then I've got other work that I have to do. I tend to like to keep my weekends for living my life, because my weekdays are usually for like driving my mission forward. All right, so King Fandino, love it. And unfortunately, I cannot accommodate you today. I guess that might be more unfortunate for you than for me. I'd love to meet you, my friend. So if you can wait until Monday and you want to book Monday, I think I still have a Monday slot available. But one of the things about manifesting generators that I absolutely love is this phrase that I heard. It's like, it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And I feel like manifesting generators, y'all are just like the embodiment of that, right? And if you're not the embodiment of that, um, there's a lot of how you say aliveness and life on the table for you. So if you're a manifesting generator tuning in, definitely want to just say, um, yeah, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. But that's not necessarily across the board. That's true for manifestors. I would say that for projectors, generators, and reflectors, it's actually better to Not necessarily wait for permission, but wait for an opening. Wait for somebody to welcome you into their space. Because if you don't, and you just are going around asking for forgiveness and not actually waiting to see if people are ready, a lot of the times this is going to feed into sort of this need for validation that yeah, you just don't need any more of that. So it's rare to meet someone with good energy. I appreciate you. Thanks. Appreciate you too, Peggy. Appreciate you too. Thank you for subscribing and supporting the channel. Thank you for sharing the live, liking the live. If you guys have any questions about your human design, this is a pretty like mellow live right now. Sometimes we've got like upwards of 50 people on here. So if you have a question, I'll probably see it. I'll probably see it. It's really true. I've three wives. That was my tagline. Dang, my friend, like 3 current wives or like 1 wife broke up, another wife broke up, and another wife broke up? Either way, that's like a powerful way to move through life. Again, part of moving through life as a manifesting generator, currently 3 wives. Wow. That's I've never met that. But I mean, like, again, in true manifesting generators way, it's like multiple projects, right? That's awesome. You're probably gonna be a very interesting session. I'm looking forward to meeting with you. Any suggestions for the left angle cross of duality? Muslim. Yeah, okay. I don't connect with many Muslim people, so that makes sense. Tree air. Any suggestions for the left angle cross of duality? So with left angle crosses, that's a transpersonal cross, meaning that like in a lot of ways you're here to clear karma with people. So one of the things that I would say is that, there's a lot probably of auspicious connections or experiences that you may have. Not to say don't dive into them, but don't dive into them too deeply. Sometimes like you're with someone to clear karma with them, right? It's not necessarily some like, oh, you need to learn this lesson in your life. It's more so like, I just need to meet you, have words with you, or I need to like be with you for a month or two and then go separate ways and like to clear some energy up from for instance, like past lives or past inertia. So that's what I would say with that. When it comes to like duality, right and wrong, typically people on the cross of duality are going to have that like strong sense of justice or like this ability to kind of like care more about right and wrong, good and bad, etc. And it's not that you shouldn't care about it, but you shouldn't project that other people should care about it. One of the things that I really think is important for me when you're looking at the incarnation crosses is like, don't necessarily look to other people to care about the things that you care about as much as you care about them. And just in human design in general, but in particular, like duality, like the ability to hold someone in their light and in their shadow at the same time is it's like a superpower. It's the ability to tolerate what do you call it, oxymorons, hypocrisy, and be able to see things still with the clear lens. So the duality, it's about seeing the unity behind duality, how the two things need each other or in their contrast are finding ways to coincide with each other. Soulful Sadie, hello. Hello, sister. I know we're going, it's surprise live. And now it looks like we've got 30 people here in the chat. What's up, chat? How you guys doing? If you know your human design, drop it in the chat. If you have a question about your human design, drop it in the chat. This is your opportunity to get like free information, basically. I'm live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes whenever the heck I feel like it at 9 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Nicole, you just found out you're a projector. Did that land for you? Oh, we got all the projectors in here. What was it like finding out that you were a projector? Were you excited? Were you not excited? See, I don't quite understand reading my chart. Makes sense. There's a lot going on in your chart. Absolutely. I think without me knowing, I really live my life aligned with my human design. King Fardino, this is something that's actually really cool. Most people have a sense of their design, and whether or not they live it out doesn't matter, but they have a sense of their design. And people that don't have any sense of their design, They have a sense of their design, they've just suppressed it. They've had a sense and they've gone against their senses. That would be considered going against your internal authority. Like knowing you need to do something, but recognizing that the people around you won't like it if you do that, and choosing not to do it because of the external world. This is called making a fear-based decision versus making a love-based decision. Primarily, we're talking about the love of yourself. I love myself. This is what I want to do, so this is what I'm going to do. Right. And this is something that a lot of people need to learn, because if you don't have loyalty to yourself and you don't have love for yourself, all of the love you put out to the world is fake. It's flimsy, it's shallow. Because if you're the kind of person that is going to make fear-based decisions, make decisions that are based on the external world as opposed to your love for yourself, unfortunately you're not going to be able to love beyond a certain capacity, and it will be subtly manipulative or subtly how you say victimizing or self-victimizing. So therapy mom, thank you for sharing the live, appreciate it. Soulful Sadie, how do you make decisions? What is your type again, Sadie? For the projectors, everyone has a strategy, and the projector strategy is one of the coolest, I think, because it's literally like the put the sunglasses on and the deal with it thing. If you want to figure out your design, just go to my website, reikimarco.com. I have a body graph generator on my website, as well as an app that you can download that will generate your body graph for you. Um, Yes, so go do that because it's very helpful. I highly recommend the app. If you're the kind of person that is easily overwhelmed, I would get one of my reports just because it kind of lays it out in like a sequence that you can kind of follow along. The app is just like, here's the world of human design. And it's like, oh my God. That being said, when it comes to the app, if you go to the About tab and you just look at the general stuff, like that's a great place to start. Soulful Sadie, manifesting generator 2-4. Got it. Authority, emotional authority. So half of the world has emotional authority, right? um and it's one where it's like it's here to teach you patience, right? So like, how did you learn human design? It's so expensive, right? So one of the reasons why I learned human design was because I was suspicious of it. And but I went and like tried to figure out like what resources and materials are available, and I eventually found this book, which I highly recommend. This book, it's a $50 book. And if you think a textbook is expensive, you know what I mean? This is like, this was worth so many more textbooks than I've ever experienced, because this book, it like tells you everything that you need to know. It tells you all the basics, it tells you about all the types. Like you could literally learn human design from this $50 book. Now, that's not necessarily the best way to learn human design. Some people do better with a teacher. The Jovian Archive has a bunch of different like courses and stuff. But the way I learned human design was literally Stacy, yeah, I got you. There it is. The way I learned human design was literally reading this book and fucking around to find out. I'm a 3-5 reflector. And so for me, it was really about my journey with human design was looking at people's designs in my app, which I used a different app before because neutrino design didn't exist. And I was testing to see, it's like, oh, does this person live their design? Right? Because one thing that I read about reflectors is that we really care about who's different. We really care about who's differentiated and who's embodied in their human design and manifesting their signature. And one of the things I found is that very few people know about human design, but there are plenty of people who actually live their human design. Kind of like King Fandino over here. Do me a favor for the session today, please. To a manifesting generator. King, bro, I appreciate you so much. I can't do it today. I have other plans today. I just wanted to get this live in, but you're welcome to ask any questions. And like I said, and this is part of what working with a reflector is like. Is in the past, I would have done the session for you. I would have figured out how to adjust it because you have a very deliberate and strong energy. And now I can appreciate that without feeling like I need to uh, um, um, manifest it for you. So yeah, I have 5 biological children and 6 foster children. Whoa, I want to learn more so I can try and teach all the kids. So okay, I got you, Stacy. And Fanny, this is why I'm here as well, because there's people who can't necessarily afford to do the sessions with me, that I want to be able to make some things available. So adjusting your parenting according to their designs. It's so important to allow children, right? Especially like generator children to be themselves, right? Because so much of what parenting is about in the normalized context is what's like called the status quo. Oh, most children have a bedtime at 8 o'clock, so my children should have a bedtime at 8 o'clock, right? Geek Fandino's just over here. Do you have a defined heart too, my friend? That would make sense. Um, so when it comes to parenting children, right, the primary things that you want to figure out are their strategy and their authority. And you want to give them opportunities to practice their strategy and authority. Now, some little hacks is for the generator children. Don't force them to go to sleep. Don't ask them if, hey, will you clean your room? Ask them if they have energy to clean their room. Give them something to respond to. Projector children, invite them into, hey, how do you think things are going? Where do you think we should go? Even if you don't necessarily follow their advice, it's helpful to invite them into it. For the manifestors, asking them, hey, is there anything that you need is similar to the projector, like asking them about how things are going, but then actually giving them responsibilities and say, hey, will you let the other kids know that dinner is ready? Right? Give them an opportunity to grow. That's really me how I raise my kids. Yes. And again, it's like you don't necessarily have to know human design to treat your children as individual human beings, but it really helps. It really helps in the sense that it's like when you get to like see children like manifesting their signature, it's one of the most beautiful things ever because it's like, it's so much less it's so much less stressful for the parent to just let the kid be who they are. It's so much more stressful for the parent to try and make the kid um like into something that they want them to be rather than what they are. So anyway, I hope that helps. Tips for me as a projector parent of 5 kids. I'm tired. So makes sense. One of the things that I think projector parents really lack is structure and step by step processes. And so, one of my invitations to you would be to create a step by step process for yourself that is going to sort of like maximize your energy, but then also creating systems and processes for the kids so that they can actually learn to be a little bit more resilient and entertaining of themselves, etc. I hate structure. Yeah. I used to hate structure as well until I learned how powerful it is. It's like you hate structure until you realize that structure is the freedom that you've been looking for. And this is also coming from my own self. I used to like think that structure was the enemy of freedom until I learned how just the right amount of structure creates freedom. So anyway, a reflector isn't here to follow others. They're here to follow their soul. I know that that sounds really wishy-washy or new agey in bunny language, but in a sense, that's what it's really about, Raw. Definitely. A reflector is here to live out the program, whatever is in the program. If that's coming out of you as a reflector, you're being correct. Yeah. So my program right now is like island life, living on Maui, raising a baby with human design, with a projector. It's me, a reflector, and a projector raising a manifestor child, which is hilarious. I think it's like a great joke. Um, but it's yeah, anyway, not projecting right or wrong onto others. Yes, exactly. Like that's the thing is like what's right for me and what's wrong for me might be different for you. Now there are things that we can objectively look at, right and wrong, right? In terms of like taking life. But at what point do we take life? For what reason is right and wrong? These are subtle differentiations that, again, at the end of the day, right and wrong are still going to be faculties of our own mind in our own comparison with other people. Correct. I knew Virgo, my second wife, is the happiest. She was looking for structure, right? And so this is the thing is like, there's a lot of people, I'm sure that again, they think that adding more structure is going to create more work for them. But it's actually the opposite, especially for people, especially for projectors who like really thrive in systems that are because it's like you can't optimize a system that doesn't exist, right? Like if you say you have low energy but you don't have a pattern that you follow, it's going to be really hard to help because we don't know what things are actually going to help you. And so as a projector parent, again, one of the things that I would install, and I actually recommend this for a lot of people, have some kind of simple morning routine. Doesn't last longer than an hour, and it should be longer than like like 5 or 10 minutes. But bare minimum, you can get away with starting a morning routine with the intention of building it up to half an hour to an hour, starting off with just like what I call RPM, rise, piss, meditate. Super simple. You wake up, you pee, you sit down for 5 minutes. That's what I do every day without fail. And the reason I do it without fail is because it's so simple and it's so easy to do. Right. So I practiced less of my impulsiveness towards her when I knew about it. Yeah, exactly. And this is a magic. It's probably why you have three wives, bro. Um, is like one of the things that we have to learn as human beings is that just because I like being treated this way doesn't mean the other person likes being treated this way. Now, there are some obvious, like, oh, if I like when people communicate with me, other people like to be communicated to and have clear communication. Yeah, we get that. Okay. There's some basic the basic things, the basic standards. But when it comes to nuances, like for instance, I like to receive a phone call over a text, or I like to receive a voice memo over a text. Like you can look at your body graph and determine and experiment with, okay, because of this, for instance, 1222 channel, I like to receive a text rather than a voice note, or I like to receive a voice note rather than a text. Again, and it's not about like proving the system right. It's about having isolated experiments based off of your body graph that reveal things about yourself that if you weren't looking in such a niche area, you wouldn't have even thought to ask those kinds of questions. Now, when it comes to is human design accurate, is like, yeah, sure, it's accurate. But the real beauty of human design is, am I asking the right questions now? Am I looking in the right places? Am I discerning the boundaries? And am I appreciating myself as a differentiated human being rather than judging myself for not being like other people? That's really what this human design stuff is about. It's about being able to differentiate yourself from everybody else. The most important thing you need to learn about your chart is, first of all, your type, because your type is going to tell you what strategy you should be using to make sure that you're not wasting your energy around people that don't care about you. Right? Like if you're a manifester and the people you inform are annoyed by your information, those are probably not your people. If you're a projector and the people in your life don't invite you to things, those are not your people. If you're a generator and every time you're around the people that you spend the most time with, your gut is like, or everything they give to you is like, you're probably not around the right people. And it very much is so about being in the right environment. It's like if you have a fish out of water, that's called sushi. That's a dead fish, right? If you have a monkey that's not in the trees, that's called a dinner for the lions, right? And so your environment and the world around you is either going to keep you safe or it's going to hunt you down and turn you into a sushi roll or turn you into dinner. Right nowadays, it's not as severe as that. It's a much slower death. It's more like if you're not in the right environment, the environment will hunt you down and turn you into a worker bee of the environment, which again, no one wants to do that. And if they do, they don't feel like a worker bee. They feel like they're contributing. They feel like they're a part of something bigger. But if you don't feel like you're a part of something bigger, it's probably because you're in the wrong environment. So the most important thing to do is look at what your strategy is, look at what your inner authority is. And this is like, your highest self or the part of you, again, that is going to help you discern the difference between what your boyfriend wants, what your mom wants, what your dad wants, and what you want, right? Helps you discern the difference between the external authority and the internal authority. That's one of the biggest things that you have to learn in human design is how to use your strategy and how to be considerate of your own internal authority. Once you learn those two things, the next thing that I would learn is about your centers. What is a healthy expression of a defined center? What is an unhealthy expression of the defined center? And learn about all the qualities of your centers. Then I would start learning about the gates. Man, Daniel's over here just dropping a bunch of raw quotes in the YouTube chat. This is awesome. So what we got here? A natural hierarchy is beginning to emerge in which the reflector will play an exquisite role as they stand for ultimate justice. Big time. With their quiet, unobtrusive aura, they will fill the rightful place at the center of the type hierarchy by reflecting back into the world the not self injustices they see humanity perpetrating on itself. This is literally me. They are here to prod humanity towards cooperative, just, peaceful, and equitable global community in preparation for those who are being born after 27 with spirit awareness. That is a quote from Raw. Thanks, Daniel, for posting that in the YouTube chat. Appreciate you, brother. Um, this is me, guys. This is my body graph right here. It's all undefined, right? All undefined, meaning I'm a mirror for whatever environment I'm in. And go figure, I left the mainland to come live in the jungle in a valley, which my environment is valleys with very low sound. Like there's like the loudest thing there is the wind and sometimes the rain, and that's where I live my life. And if you want to reach me, I've made ways for people to reach me. Um, but again, it's like I'm going to live out my soul's programming, which is very much so like really looking for the key few people that want the clear reflections. Because if you follow me for any amount of time, you know that I'm not one to pull punches. Um, and that's what I think is so valuable, because I think in society today, what I see is a lot of people not saying what they mean and not doing what they actually want to do. And because of that, there's so much suffering in the world. So yeah, I've spent many years a hermit lifestyle as well. Yeah, and I'm a 3-5 as well. So it's like I love socializing. I love networking with people. But one of the things that I love more than that is being able to have like a core group of key people in my life. For me right now, that's my partner, my daughter, and my handful of friends, right? And not needing to necessarily um build. And it's just funny because once I had my child, this is when things really shifted for me. I was like, I'm going to create a safe haven, like a little Garden of Eden for my family. Before that, I was like running around the world, doing all kinds of things, actually, quite literally flying around the world, doing Reiki for people, doing all kinds of stuff. And when I had my child, I realized I need to step into my own programming, which for me is very much so about family, the continuation of humanity, as well as the proper, how you say, management and utilization of resources. And so it's like we grow a lot of our own food. We live on a well. This isn't my property, but I plan to make this my property one day so that we can further do that. Because that's where we're headed. We're headed towards a reality where the children growing up, they're like not going to care about so many of the things that we care about today. They're not going to care about the government and society, and if people cancel them, they're not going to give a damn about that, because they're going to be tuned into spiritual truths that humanity today tends to not want to look at. So anyway, what's the difference between reflectors and projectors? So reflectors aura is penetrating, whereas the projector aura is penetrating, whereas the reflector aura is Teflon. It opens and closes, right? The difference between that is a projector naturally has an inclination to guide people and let them know where they should go or what's going to be best for them when they're invited. And a reflector is better at letting people know where they're at right now. So for me, for instance, when you do sessions with me, yes, I will tell you where to go and what the long-term destination is, but I'm more focused on where you're at. What's the resistance towards taking the next step? Do you even know what the next step is? What step do you think you need to take? I'm here to help you get clear on where you're at so that you can get to where you want to go. Let's see. Third life phase doesn't look inviting. So John says I'm a 5-1 projector with a single 1858. My partner has that channel, and 8-5 lines in my conscious design, 3-5 lines in my unconscious chart, specific authority, splenic authority, with root and spleen defined, everything else undefined, and emotional center completely open. John, that's very similar to my partner. It's very similar to my partner. I've watched how much turmoil she goes through in how you say, like, comparing the way she lives her life to the way other people live their life. And she knows mentally that it's like the way she lives her life is how she's supposed to live her life, which is much very hermited. It's very like just like nature based. Like she wakes up, writes affirmations, plays with our daughter, goes out, works in the yard. Like that's what she does. She's just like a mom, and very nature based. Doesn't have Instagram or TikTok or any of those social medias, but every now and then she'll dip into the world, and that comparison part of her will come up, which is, it's not that it's a bad thing, but it's like with that channel of correction, or the channel of judgment is what it's called. That's called what you call as a projected collective circuitry, meaning that your standards for yourself and the things that you need to work on, right, are different than the pressure and the things that you feel when you're witnessing the world, because part of collective circuitry is to establish standards for the collective. This is how things should be. So part of, John, your profile is here, you're here to help guide the world towards establishing standards that are more equitable and more correct for the world. Now, that being said, again, being an individual, and the 5-1 is a very individual lifestyle, it can be very conflicting because the world isn't ready for a lot of the projections. That's also what it means to be a fifth line. The world isn't ready for your solutions. And so much of it is going to be really learning how to surround yourself with the right type of people. And it doesn't have to be that many. But anyway, Reb, how do projectors go about creating slash cultivating needed community in a way that waits for invitations? So one of the things that you can't avoid in life is trial and error. And so what you really want to do as a projector looking for their community is really get clear on the standards and what you want your community to do. Like the step-by-step process. Because it's like if I'm going to invite a projector into my life, one thing that I'm looking for is, do you have a system that you live by that works for you, that makes you successful? One of those systems is waiting for an invitation. So when it comes to crafting and cultivating and creating a community, what you are here to do is figure out the things that are important for you, write them out, like get clear on them, and then embody them in your own way to the point where people are looking at you or they're seeing you and they're saying, wow, you really got it going on. Will you help me with that? Or could I please be a part of your community? The idea behind creating a community is it's a relationship between you and your art, you and your partner, you and your child, you and your business, you and whatever it is that you love. If you can, again, find a way to tap people into that same love you have for themselves, like, is someone, again, if you're an artist, it's like, what is your step-by-step system to connect with your art and your craft? If you can take people through that, that's valuable to the world. We're talking about human design, Marian Martinez. If you don't have your body graph already, or if you don't know what your human design is, go to my website, generate your body graph. I also have reports there that will just like totally decode your whole human design for you, and they're super affordable. What career for manifesting generator? Thank you. Manifesting generators and generators, I would say, whatever career like that you have energy for, right? And what I mean by that is like your sacral is either going to wake up and be like, let's get this money, or I have to go to work. Just as long as it's not, I have to go to work, y'all can do anything. Manifesting generators are particularly good in management positions or places where you can have your hands in multiple things. Because for manifesting generators, y'all are going to thrive with environments where you can like make improvements, right? And depending on your profile, it's going to determine how you make improvements. But manifesting generators are typically like the people that you bring into a business when it's stale and it needs like a fresh energy. I kind of do it the old fashioned way as for my connection with God, working on my emotional stability and physical. Yeah. So, again, human design is a very old system. And what I've learned with human design is that instead of like adhering to the normal new age way, which is like, oh, your spirit animal is the lion, be courageous. It's more like, oh, your spirit animal is the lion. Where are you courageous? Where are you not courageous? We're using human design as a way to discover the fundamentals that we need to work on. And for instance, for like with generators, it's more important that they're manifesting generators and generators. It's more important that they're busy with something satisfying than that they have a system. For projectors, it's more important that you have a system, because if you just try to be busy, you're going to burn out. How long does it take to get our reports waiting on minds? So sexy, sweet, subtle, you should just get it right away. Did you just order it? I can look at it. And if you don't immediately get put onto a page with your report, yes, spirit leads all of it, but the body is the thing that experiences it. So for instance, a generator build of a body is different than a manifester build of a body, right? and the energetics of it are going to be different. And so your connection to spirit, right, is going to be different. You do one-on-one readings with human design? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And sexy, sweet, subtle. Let me know if it's in your email, because if it's not in your email, I can manually send it to you. Um, yeah, and if anyone has any trouble with their reports, just let your boy know. Just let your boy know. I'll help you out. Purchased it on Monday. Okay. Let's see. What was Monday? How long have you and your family been doing this? So I've been studying human design for about 10 years now. 21st. Okay. Monday is the 21st. And what name is it under? Check the spam folder as well. But yeah, it's been 10 years for me. I've been like openly sharing about it and kind of like teaching it in a way for the past 2 years. And that's because I was busy for the first 8 years doing Reiki, but also because um I had a baby. That's straight. I had life surprised me with a child, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to travel around the world and be like this Reiki billionaire master. I want to spend time with my child. How do I spend time with my child? And human design was the obvious answer. It was like, oh, just like be that guy. Be the guy that's always talking about human design. So anyway, thank you, Brooke. Yeah, and one of the things too, I realized like I was brought to human design as well and like a more grounded position because, in my life, I was just doing so many things and I didn't necessarily know who I was or what I was doing. Right. I was Reiki Marco and I was going around helping people. So I was like a Reiki master billionaire, but then I was also this music artist. And now I'm like, I feel more like Marco than I ever have. And Marco is like, he's just into all kinds of different things. But now that I have a rooted, grounded way of not only providing a living for my family, but also a stable uh, environment. Because, dude, before I was in like a new city every week and it was awesome. But I was definitely like, okay, where do I belong? And the only place that I really could go was my family's house, which if you guys know anything about family, my family is awesome. But if you know anything about family, is like you can do all the work that you could find, but when you go back to your family, it's gonna be tested because they're the ones that raised you. And so much of our conditioning comes from parents. It comes from oh, how often did your parents tell you to hug someone or say hi to someone or get along with someone that you did not like? You didn't want to get along with them, but your parents were like, oh, be nice, like, you know, or share your toys or do this stuff. They're trying to teach us how to be homogenized, how to be like other children, right? And they had good intentions, but unfortunately, good intentions doesn't always mean correct action for the individuals. And so, as human beings now and as adults, it's our responsibility for ourselves to learn what is actually correct for ourselves. And the only way we learn through this is by seeing for ourselves and learning through experimentation, which human design and my reports can help you with that. Sexy, sweet, yet subtle. Are you there? I want to help you. Um, Let me see if I can find it based off of your email. I can't find it here. What's the full name that you put it under? Also, sexy, sweet, subtle. If you don't want to have that information out here, you can just email me at reikimastermarco.com and I can help you there. But we'll definitely help you. Yeah, it should get you there right away. If it didn't, there's also a possibility that the payment didn't go through. So that would be another reason. Very rarely there will be an error where a report won't generate. But let's see. Anitra Nesbitt. Hmm. Yeah, sis, I do not see it here. I'll check my payment processing. Yeah, Anitra, I don't think I have Second, let me check the other one. How has having a baby and staying one place helped to ground you? Well, it's forced me to like really develop some structure for myself and like a daily to-do list and a daily like routine. Because before, again, I would do my routines, but I didn't actually have like structure. So now in my life, I have structure. It's like, wake up around between like 6 and 7. I'm not like super structured, but I do have a structure, rise, piss, meditate, drink tea, move my body, write a little bit. It's like my morning routine. Then I go into either lives or making content or studying, right? Because a lot of what makes me really good at human design is I actually spent a lot of time doing Reiki with people. So like watching energies and studying again like the actual intricacies of human design, but also too like looking at people online and seeing how they show up and whether or not their design matches is one of the things that I do regularly. I'm often like, if I follow a new creator, I try and figure out what their birthday is so I can run their chart so I can see if they're actually like living their design or not. And a lot of the people are like, whether they know it or not, they are living their design, at least the successful ones. And if you would like to connect with me, um, I do one-on-one sessions. So yeah, Anitra, it failed. Oh wait, no, that was October 23rd. Oh, okay. We must be in different time zones. So hunting down the reports. Hunting down the reports. Well, I will figure this out. I'm definitely not a techie guy, but and is that the name you used on the report? Sexy, sweet, subtle. Adriana, yes, it helps. It definitely will make a difference if you don't have the exact time of birth. So if you don't have the exact time of birth, just download the app. Okay, download the app, and the app has a birth time rectification feature as well as a birth time explorer. So you can see literally every little change of the body graph throughout the day. And sometimes it doesn't change, right? The app, so it's not my app. I didn't develop it, but I call it my app because I'm partnered with the app. It's epic, and it's called Neutrino Design, and you can get it on my website for 25% off. And it's not like a watered down version of it. It's like the full experience Neutrino Design. You just get it 25% off because me and the dev are homies, right? The developer. I'm a manifesting generator, and my child is a projector. What are tips for communicating? So, one of the things that you might want to consider talking to your child about is the difference between doing something because they have energy for it and doing something because somebody else wants to do it, right? And so sexy sweet, thanks. I saw your payment. I'm looking for the email or the name of I can't find your name in my system. It's really weird. But yeah, thanks for emailing me. I'll go look at it right now. So, are you related to Serpent Dove Tarot? Y'all sound. I'm not. No. Who is that? And Sexy Sweet Subtle. I have not gotten an email from you. It's Reiki Master Marco at gmail.com. Let me see. I do have another email. Let me go check that actually. Nope. Nothing. And yeah, I do see your thing here anyway. So who else do you partners with? Do you have other creators you like to work with? So I don't really have any like official other partners. The only other person that I work with, his name is Pasha. And for those of you that are in the archive, you might know who he is. He does a lot of the videos in the archive. He's the like biomechanics. He trains us on biomechanics. Um, he's incredible. He's a 1-3 manifesting generator, emotional authority, and the dude is just brilliant. He's like gotten people out of wheelchairs. He like fixed his own scoliosis. He's like a Turkish gym bro that is like incredibly spiritual and incredibly attuned. His name is Pasha. Um, yeah, and he's incredible. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see your email. Sexy, sweet yet subtle. I see your payment. October 23rd, 10:15 a.m. Is that too much information to share? I don't think so. It's just the time. 10. Yeah, don't. It's so weird. That's never happened before. I'm definitely gonna get you your report. I just gotta find it. That's so strange. Nitra. I mean, yeah. No. Oh, let's see. But yeah, Anitra, send me another email. I don't see it. Maybe you spelled my email wrong. I don't know. I started the sensory videos last night. He's very good. I like how he gets into it. Yes. Yes. Well, yes. Awesome. Um, yeah, Pasha's really good. Like I resonate a lot with him because he's kind of like me where he likes to break things. He likes to see like what doesn't work. What's up, Andrew? How you doing, my friend? Um, Sorry, I have been totally ignoring the YouTube chat. Sorry, guys. Can you speak on the sexual, intimate nature of a projector? There's almost a scorpionic like penetration taking of the partner and their energy. I feel a deep experience for us, if that's appropriate to ask. Totally. I feel the projector is naturally scorpionic in the intense, penetrating gaze. Definitely unconscious seduction. The depth and curiosity to dive into self. For the record, when I observe you, there's an energy of invisibility, almost as if you meld into oneness by nature, and the intonation that flows through you is connecting seamlessly with your environment. John, I really appreciate your penetrations. And I definitely am inviting anyone to like look at me in my life, engage for themselves. Because and this is what I as a reflector, one of the things I want to say, John, is that you too have that ability, and it's not necessarily that that's your MO, because as a projector it's less about being invisible and being able to witness and more about like actually being engaged by the other. One of the things that I see for projectors a lot is that they are either more deeply desiring connection with the person than the other person is desiring with them, or it's vice versa. Like projectors, again, it's very challenging, I think, for projectors to be in like half in half out relationships, and if you find yourself from them, yeah. I love watching my kids in their nature because they live their design, and I'm trying not to change them from it. Yes, 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 yes. Sweet, sexy yet subtle. Do not. It's okay. You don't need to apologize. I apologize that my system is not perfect. And also that I'm not getting your emails for some reason. But I do see your payment, so we will get this done. If anything happened, if you're not able to get the email on this live, then you can just DM me and or go comment on one of my videos. I'll pay attention to it because this is one thing that you know I um I really want to make clear is like if you pay me money, I'm going to make sure you get the thing, right? And that's like someone asked me how long my sessions are, and I was like, as long as they need to be. Usually they're an hour to an hour and a half because people can't like sit for longer than an hour and a half, and like you're gonna get way too much information. You're gonna have to watch it again. But yeah, so my son is a 5'2" emotional generator since I know and understand him so much better. Awesome. So yeah, so like, and if you can do one thing for parents with emotional children, see what channel they have. Because if they have tribal circuitry, when they're emotional, hold them. If they have individual circuitry, when they're emotional, like give them space. If they have collective circuitry, similar thing, kind of give them space, but then like let them know that they're doing good. One of the things as well is like, especially if you are how you say parenting a generator or a manifesting generator child, like I hate to make this comparison because it seems derogatory, but it's really not. They're like dogs. Okay. They love to know when they're doing the right thing. So letting them know, like, hey, how does that feel? They're like, that feels great. And you're like, all right, great. Feel that. Don't be like, oh, you're doing such a good job for mommy and daddy. Be like, hey, does that feel good? Uh-huh. Great. I'm happy that feels good for you. Teach them to use their own sacral as a metric. And one of the things you can also say is like, hey, I really appreciate that you're doing this. Does it feel good for you to do this? Does it feel right? Do you have energy to do this thing? Great. You can also be very clever with your wording. Like, for instance, if you want them to clean their room, instead of asking, hey, will you clean your room? Ask them if they have time to clean their room, and then ask them if they have energy to clean their room. And also, well, with manifesting generators and generator children, I would also make it a rule of thumb that as the parent, you're only going to accept answers that are like, uh-huh and uh-uh, right? And asking them if they like, if they say like, you say, oh, do you want to go to the park today? And they're like, yeah. And be like, oh, sacral sounds. And they'll be like, uh-huh. And it's like, okay, great. Or you can make it a game. It's like, all right, give me your answer, but do it without words. And they'll be like, I'll be like, what kind of sacral sound was that? Okay, give me another one. I didn't get that. Right. What's this for? Kiki, this is about human designs. We're talking about human design, and specifically we're talking about children's in human design. Why are sacral sounds important? Well, sacral sounds are important for 70% of the population because that's the truth for them, right? It's like if you ask somebody, hey, do you want to go on a date with me? And they're like, yeah, yeah, right? For 70% of the population, they know they don't want to go on the date. They just don't want to piss you off or make you upset or make you sad, right? Because people are empathetic and they're nice, right? But one of the things that you want to consider is like, okay, you might have to be rude to some people in order to not be a total fucking liar. So anyway, they're super important. It's sad you can't pay with PayPal for the human design reading. Yeah, what if you want a reading and you can't and you don't have a credit card or you need to pay through PayPal, just email me. And I'm gonna put that on my website right now because that's definitely I've had a couple people say that they want sessions, but they can't. So you can definitely get a session with me and pay with PayPal. We just have to do it manually. So send me an email, reikimastermarco@gmail.com, and I will set up a session for you. Where have you been hiding? I haven't been seeing any of your videos lately. Simona, I don't know. I have been noticing like a massive drop off of the amount of engagement and traffic that I get. And I'm willing to accept that maybe I'm not making as good of content, but I think I'm better content than I used to. I also think that TikTok is getting to this place where because there's like this impending doom thing happen, like the ban might be happening soon. I also think that they might be prioritizing um, ads and lie. Like they just want people to spend their money here on the app because they know that a lot of Americans are not going to be able to use it. So, yeah, if you want to stay connected, follow me on Instagram and YouTube because those are like safer places. Um, yeah, follow me on Instagram and YouTube. Those are going to be if TikTok does get banned, that's where I'm going to go is Instagram and YouTube. But yeah, it kind of sucks, doesn't it? Because I'm like, I definitely started hitting a vibe with some of my sessions, but TikTok is definitely messing with the algorithm. It's not the content TikTok wants to push, but that's maybe a good sign rewarding the quality of your work. Thanks, Brooke. I appreciate your guys's good faith and uh, all that. Okay, where should I put this disclaimer? I'll put it right here. Bingo. All right, now this is on the website. I feel like such a hacker anytime I do something like this, like updating a website. Anyone else feel that way? I'm not like super techie, but it feels good to be able to like update my own website. Anyway, all right. So my email is now on my website under the book a session thing. So if you'd like to use an alternative payment method like PayPal or Cash App, please email me at reikimastermarco@gmail.com. Very good. I'm a nerd. I'm not a very good nerd though. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a very good nerd. What time is it? Let's see. 12:22. Okay, we got 10 minutes before I have to go and start getting ready for my next thing. Before I go, anything y'all want to share? Is there anything you guys want to talk about? This has been a cool little like sexy sweet subtle. I got it. Bingo, I got it. Okay. So, Olena, let's see. Did I get your email too? Olena, I got your email as well. Freaking awesome. Okay. My handle everywhere is Reiki Marco. ReikiMarco. All of the links for that kind of stuff is also on my website. So if you want to follow me, again, just go over on my I think yes, sexy sweet subtle. Just go back and forth with email with me after I end this live. I'll get it to you in like the next, hopefully next like 10-15 minutes. So I'm really stoked for you. Thank you for your patience. It's very strange. I'm very curious what happened, but also it's like, this platform that I use is Neutrino Design, and so it's really helpful to run into things like this, because this is like any program. There's always going to be like bugs and troubleshooting things that we need to do. So if we can't figure out what happened to your report, this is going to be a fun little mystery for us to send our developer down. And he's a 3.5 like me as well. One of the reasons I think we get along so well. He's also a 3.5, and yeah, it's just really fun. Say thank you for addressing the things that I've been saying. You are very welcome, John. I appreciate the engagement and asking the questions. And you really picked up on something. And I don't know your background, bro, but you picked up on something that is the scorpionic nature of projectors, which is funny because a lot of the projectors I know actually are Scorpios. But it very much so is when it comes to penetration and connection and intimacy. It's like the scorpion holds its prey and then stings it. And that's one thing about a projector is like, right, they're able to hold on to something and then penetrate into it. The thing that you want as a projector, I would imagine, is somebody to say, hold me and sting me. Because I feel like a lot of projectors are holding on to like the wrong people and trying to penetrate the wrong people energetically, because they think it's like, oh, a lot of the times projectors have this thing, which if you're a projector in the chat, let me know. um I just made 2 comments prior to this within that ad as well. Yes. So as a projector or reflector, when you look at somebody in the eye, how do you stay centered in yourself without being consumed by the feeling of others? Super cool question. As a projector, looking someone in the eyes can make them feel naked or in a way violated, and it's uncomfortable. Trying to lessen the intensity leads to discomfort in my own body. Yes. Okay. So super cool question, man. Thanks for making me aware, because I just read like the last one. So this will be the last thing that I talk about, and then I'll kind of like close it out. But this is super cool questions, John. Appreciate you being here. Regarding the penetration of the eyes. So this is one thing that is we kind of talk about in the archive, is the difference between peripheral and focused focus, right? Because this is focused. This is peripheral. Now, you may not have noticed the difference, but I went from looking directly into the camera, penetrating the soul of the camera, to now absorbing light in these areas. And the way that I did that, it's very subtle, but you see my ears move? This is focusing, like almost putting blinders on, trying to block things out. This is, I would imagine, for projectors, this is the natural gaze. It's focused. And opening things up, like it's not about lessening the intensity, it's about spreading the intensity to include all the areas around the person. So this is a trick that you can do. Instead of looking a person directly in the eyes, look right above, like either at their third eye or at their eyebrows. And then instead of focusing on their eyebrow, focus on everything around them, specifically everything around the head. Right now, this could actually prove how you say a this could give you a new problem, which would be great, which would be that now you're absorbing all this information from your peripheral, and that might be overwhelming. So the way that you handle that is you strengthen the muscles that bring information from your trigeminal nerve, the things you see, smell, and taste, around your ear, the things you hear, down into your body. So, one of the ideas as well here is that you want to cultivate tolerance in your physical body and build this connection between your senses and your body. Because most people just do this, and what we need to be doing, and when we were babies, like think about this, when a baby is a baby and they're crying or they're moving through some emotional stuff, what do? Wah, wah. A baby knows how to suck and swallow with its entire body. But as we become adults, we stop doing that. We stop sucking on the boob, and we lose contact with one of the most soothing and natural coping mechanisms that human beings have, which is swallowing. Why do you think it is that when we yawn, people say, "Oh, we're getting tired"? It's because you're relaxing. It's because you're relaxing, yo. So, anyway, John, I love that you agreed with the scorpionic nature of projectors. A lot of my spirit is Scorpio. I'm a Libra Scorpio cusp, and I identify most with Scorpio on the soul level or spiritual. Fantastic insight. Sweet. Yes. Yes. I'm happy you appreciate this, John. And this is the exact type of things that, as a reflector, I love to share, because when you are genuinely open to receiving as a projector, it's one of the coolest things. Projectors that are open to receiving reflections, I love y'all so much, because the depth that you crave of an answer and the depth that you're able to give other people answers, I can give that to you because of the nature. How dare you relax? Oh, Cody the sound healer is in here. Oh, my boy. This is someone asked if I work with anyone earlier. Me and Cody don't have an official relationship, or like, sell any products or do any services together, but this is probably like my favorite sound healer period right now. And I'm a sound healer. So he's just one of the sweetest dudes. If you guys are not already following Cody the sound healer, Cody, will you say something in here, just so people can like click on your profile? He's incredible, and the dude is just he's a sacral being, and his music is wonderful. His intentions are super pure. His products are great as well, and just overall, like, I will be going about my day, or just like scrolling through TikTok, come across one of his videos, and he'll like totally pull me out of a funk or pull me out of one of my doom scrolls, because I do have funks, I do have doom scroll stuff in there. And hey, he's just a legend. So want to give some love to my boy Cody. Back to what I was saying about the intensity with peripheral vision, because one thing that is similarly rewarded in society is the ability to focus on something, right? But the magic of focus is that you can have focus and peripheral vision at the same time, right? Like, you can be doing both. I might have found my new account to rest and meditate to. Gila, you will like it. He's and he goes live quite a bit and will do all kinds of cool stuff. He does readings live, he does sound healings live. It's all great. Even if a projector is not a Scorpio or have it in their chart, do you think they would benefit from working with the energy of Scorpio? Because as a projector, it is aligned by nature. I will practice this vision adjustment. Yes. So, if and also for anyone that wants to work on the adjustment of your vision and some of the stuff that I was just talking about, come join the archive. So if you go to the link in my bio, it'll say the archive, biomechanics, sensory mechanics, etc. Click on that. It's $11 to get in there, and you have access to like almost like 100 hours of biomechanics, sensory mechanics exercises, and I'm adding new things in there pretty much on a weekly basis. And so this is kind of like my exclusive community, where I put all of the courses that I could be charging like thousands of dollars for. I'm putting it all in one place for $11. So that's what I'm doing. Community is in the archive. Yep. So with that being said, guys, I actually got to bounce right now. It is that time. So guys, come join me in the archive. It's small right now because we're transitioning from another platform. I think we got maybe like 14, 15 members in there. So it'll be great for us to have some new members and new people getting connected. And again, it is a place where I'm actually like actively, you can similarly do what we do here, asking questions, and that's a place that I'll engage with. So much love to you guys. I will see you Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week at 9 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Come join the archive, come get your report. And for the people that I was talking to as well, I'm going to get back to you right now before I go do the thing that I got to do. Love you guys. Thanks for the surprise live. That was super fun. Aloha. John and Adrian, if you guys are still here, just ended the TikTok live. Now we're ending this live. Much love to you guys. If you guys are not already following, make sure you follow and or subscribe here on YouTube. And I will see you next time. Peace. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at Hawaii Standard Time, 9 a.m. Love you guys. Bye. John, it was awesome connecting with you, my friend. Peace.